Do you want to edit fast in Fortnite? If your answer is yes, then you definitely came to the right video. Editing fast is crucial if you want to become a competitive Fortnite player. And with that said, I am here to show you guys 3 tips that you can use to improve your editing speed. Before we begin, make sure to drop a like on this video. If you're new here, then make sure to subscribe. Consider it as your Christmas gift to me. Anyways, let's get right into the first tip. The first tip that I'm going to recommend to you guys is to decide whether or not you want edit on release on or off. As a player who has played with both settings on controller, I can confidently say that edit on release enabled makes the game easier. If you are a casual player, a creative warrior, or if you just want to be able to perform edits at a fast rate, then feel free to turn this on. However, I would say that majority of pros will agree that confirm edit on release has more cons if you are a competitive player. You're going to miss out on key positional advantages as well as peak advantages. If you want to be a competitive player, then these 2 factors can be the difference maker between a good Fortnite player and a tier 1 pro. Aim is so important nowadays, especially with the current state of competitive Fortnite. I would say that confirm edit on release off is the way to go if you are new to the game and you want to pursue a competitive career. Now, that isn't to say that if you are on confirm edit on release, then you have no chance of becoming competitive. 3-time FNCS winner and World Cup champion Dignitas Buga plays on edit on release. It is definitely not impossible, but if you want to hear my recommendations, turn it on if you want to pursue speed and convenience, and turn it off if you want an advantage in fighting and positioning. The second tip I will give you guys are 2 small but influential settings changes. The first one is your editing bind. If you are on mouse and keyboard, then make sure your editing bind is one of these options. Personally, I recommend F because it is right next to your D button and your index finger is faster than all of your other fingers. Shift is also a good option for movement advantages, but not everyone has a strong pinky. Honestly, all of these buttons are solid options. Just make sure to choose one that's most optimal to you. If you are on controller, on the other hand, then use left stick if you play on non-claw and you don't have paddles. If you are playing on claw, then I recommend one of the face buttons. And if you are on paddles or back buttons, then you can play around the edit binds from left stick to one of your extra buttons. Left stick is the most universally accepted button for editing on controller. However, as you all know, there are many ways to play on controller, which makes it difficult to pinpoint a specific button for editing. I recommend watching one of my videos. I make a ton of videos regarding binds, and I go into detail as to why I chose those specific buttons for editing. Make sure to watch them. I will link some in the description for you guys to check out. Now, for the second setting change I will ask you guys to do is to lower your sensitivity. There is this misconception that a higher sensitivity makes you a faster editor. To some degree, there is some truth to that. However, you will have little to no control over your crosshair and you will look like this when you're editing. I would say to play on a slow but controlled sensitivity. For controller, I highly recommend the one that I put in my controller settings video. As for mouse and keyboard, on the other hand, I would say to move your mouse from one side of your current mousepad to the other side. If you are able to do one full 360, that means you found the perfect sensitivity for yourself. Adjust accordingly if you can't. Make it faster or make it slower depending on what your current sensitivity looks like. The third and final tip that I will recommend to you guys is to improve your crosshair placement. A lot of people think that you need to do big movements to edit fast. Well, that cannot be further from the truth. A lot of people make a mistake of doing this when they can just simply do this. This will lower the amount of time it takes to edit a build piece, and it will allow you to do mechanical plays easier. To practice your crosshair placement, just learn the basics of moving your crosshair only to the necessary portions of a wall. Then you can advance to a floor, a stair, and finally a roof piece. This is one crucial mistake that a lot of beginners and even advanced players make whenever they're trying to do their edits. If you watched until this portion of the video, then this is the most important aspect of editing. You can literally ignore all the other tips, but as long as you follow and apply this tip, then you will see a drastic improvement in your editing speed. Although I have to say that most of you guys should put in the work first and foremost. A lot of people tend to look for these videos that they haven't put the work themselves. So after you've applied the 3 tips that I gave in this video, go into creatives, play Fortnite, work on those editing mechanics because that's how you will improve. There is no easy button, there is no light switch that will take you from point A to point B. You have to start somewhere and you have to put in the work in order to actually improve in Fortnite. Not just in your editing speed, but in all other aspects in the game for you to become competitive. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys learned something new. If you did, then make sure to subscribe. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. Consider your subscription as your Christmas gift to me. Otherwise, that's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.